Hey YouTube, give me a second here. Well, I was not trying to make this a live video, just as a disclaimer, but seeing as it kind of turned into that because it's the only way I can get this rolling, I do apologize because I gotta do it this way. I'm just gonna dive right into it. So, I really wanted to record this. Not really an episode. I'm just gonna cruise around and just talk because honestly, to type everything out in a post on any of the formats is just too much. For one, there's just a lot happened, and it's just 100% bona fide easier to discuss things right here and just talk it out because I want everybody to know. And thing about it is, I know it's I had to put it on here like this so it could possibly reach out to people that have never watched me before. So I feel a little awkward dumping you guys right into that if you've never seen me before. But for the rest of you that has seen me, I really wanted to make an announcement video, not just. Oh, jeez, hold on a second. I'm sorry for this bullshit. This fucking thing restart. Oh, you asshole. Anyway, give me a second here, peeps. So anyway, while I fucking tinker with this a minute, I wanted to. Oh, they got the Christmas stuff up, nice. Just hanging around in Forza tonight. My 6.7 Impala. Let me see something. I just need any fucking old place that I should just drive in, whatchamacallit, see what's going on. Anyway. Again, I wasn't trying to make this a live stream. I'm sorry, it's really just supposed to be a post-up video, but couldn't capture what I wanted to on the system the way I wanted to, so we're reverting to this. So with that being said, I had to make an announcement, or just to let you guys know why there was a big gap in between sections of posts, because I went about a month with nothing, which I do apologize. I wasn't giving up or anything, but I also we put up one video right after the hiatus, but then went immediately back on a hiatus.
It is safe to do so.
Sorry, went immediately back on a hiatus.
200 yards, turn left.
Don't tell me she's gonna tell me this shit the whole way there. So anyway, I need to get to the nitty-gritty of everything that was.
400 yards, turn right.
You know what? I'm not having her talk the whole fucking way in order to drive there, don't I? Just get to the highway for fuck's sake. So, in any case, the first hiatus deserves some. I can't even call it a hiatus. I was kind of didn't post anything up the month because I had gotten under the weather a little bit. I was not feeling good. Not viral. I was just going through some. Okay, so just to give it a little info, when I was much younger, when I was like middle school age, like 13, going 15, whatever, middle school. They diagnosed me with hypertension, so I had to keep an eye on that through my mid-late 20s a little bit, especially as I got older. I hit the wrong fucking buttons. Oh my god, I forgot to play this game. So anyway, as I'm just chilling here, so I was just not doing too well, but I was doing okay as far as getting it managed. It just took a little while, just sleeping awkward and shit with work, so a few things were going on that kind of hampered me getting on, so wasn't avoiding anybody, just a lot of shit, just wasn't feeling good. but you know, got back up in the saddle. Everything was good. We put out one video on Borderlands, and I was going to edit another video and put that up as well, because I have a bunch of PC stuff I was trying to dive into to have for the channel content as well. All that went tits up though. So now I need to get to why, the real reason why I made this video is because a lot's happened. And if you've been watching any amount of our YouTube videos with me and the crew, or if you are one of the crew, shout out to Scrappy, shout out to Blaze, shout out to Spartan Games, shout out, and I hope he's doing well too these days. Shout out to everybody that's linked up on the channel with us. Dirtbag, so many that, you know, hopefully you guys do get a chance to watch and find us out as well. So I need to reach out. It's just been crazy and I'm getting too wide as I'm crashing through shit. So, for anybody that's watched our content and played with us, everybody knows Sammy. Okay? Sammy's been, since day one of me trying the first iteration of the channel, and well, was in it for the second, which is the current run. The reason why we haven't been on lately is poor Sammy had a stroke. And believe me, it's taken me some time to figure out how I was gonna really just talk about this. Mainly because I just, at the time when I was like, felt like, you know, it was time I should say something. I just wanted to make sure everything, well, I'll get to it, and then I'll explain everything. So Sammy had what we think is about a level 6 stroke on the left side of her brain. Now, for those that don't know, Sammy's been a heart patient, as in she suffered congestive heart failure right around 2007, I think. It all started with that. So she's been dealing with congestive heart failure for the longest, at a young age, mind you, too, because you're talking 2007, so we were still in our 40s at that point, I do believe. So I could be off on that, mind you. So my math ain't mathing tonight. It's been a long holiday, because mind you, all of this kind of happened right before Thanksgiving. She had the stroke. We've been at the hospital for about 2 weeks now, and I'm getting to all that. So, poor Sam, yeah, she had a stroke on the left side of her brain, and there's a lot to really unpack with this, because it's not as, well, nothing's ever as simple as someone had a stroke, but this isn't. Well, I'll explain. So, when they went in to find out what was going on with Sammy, of course, as you know, with strokes, you get clots that cause them. So she had a blockage in the right carotid artery. Well, I should say her left. Her right was chronically blocked, meaning it had been blocked for we don't know how long. Not cholesterol blockage, but tissue. In other words, she had something that, or rather they think she has something similar to what my grandmother had, her mother, which was not a degenerative tissue disease, but just some sort of tissue disorder that, well, in my grandmother's case, she had it to where all her veins and capillaries are typically smaller than the average person. So, knowing that, as they saw what they found with Sammy, they're thinking, okay, she could have some similar type of disorder with tissue. Not that all her veins, it's not like all her veins are smaller, like my grandmother's, but there's other things with my grandmother going on too. She was a polio survivor, for one thing, and she was fortunate enough to not need an iron lung in her going on in life after that. So But the thing is, she had to stay active and exercise and everything. So that went downhill once she couldn't. You know, when you hit your 80s, it's kind of hard to move as much like you used to. So now, in Sammy's case, Sammy does not have a polio heart. So that's a whole other thing going on with this. And she does have congestive heart failure. So the heart valve function, but then again, this is nothing new. This is something she's lived with since 2007 and really hasn't had any real major issues, with the exception of this year. Oh, and last year, but last year wasn't really major. It was, she had some fluid buildup, the medications, you know, wasn't really working as great. Had it plus, mind you, like, this was stuff they put her on 2007, so of course when you age and certain things and all that, so we had to, I'm just going off on a tangent, but in other words, this is something with her that she's always managed, so nothing really to be alarmed about. But the thing that just blows my mind about this is the tissue disorder. So that means her right carotid artery was blocked. So when the stroke happened and the left clogged, so mind you, that also means, before I go into this, the left carotid artery was supplying both sides of her brain with blood for who knows how long. And quite frankly, she, as far as she ever knew, and anybody that's been around her, and any of us knew, she never had an issue. So that was, and the thing is, they didn't even know this until they went in. So that meant blood pressure, everything else, nothing seemed to really indicate that that was going on. But they said it was chronically blocked, so meaning it was, like I said, it could have been the tissue disorder that just caused it to close. So, it was one night I was coming back just to check on, you know, see how things are doing, and I was talking to her, and the way she talked, at first I thought was like blood sugar. I'm like, you feel loopy? She's like, yes. I'm like, she's like, I woke up like this, and I said, okay, we got to see what's going on. So I got her to eat something to see if that changed anything. It didn't. I checked her oxygen intake and blood pressure, and that's when I said, okay, we need to call an ambulance to get you in and get you checked out, because I didn't know what we were dealing with at first. So something was off, because that blood pressure was high, which is normally never high. So I'm like, okay, something happened, we need to get you in. And that's when we found it was a stroke. And the thing about having a blockage in both sides, for some reason, and this is only part of what I was explaining this, is it's a piece of what caused her not to lose, because mind you, when you have a stroke on the left side of your brain, that is typically the center of the, it's the part of the brain that controls motor function. So typically when you see a stroke on the left side of the brain, let alone of the magnitude that she had, you typically see loss of limb control on that side completely, which would be the right side of your body, because the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. So that would also mean, like, you're talking side of your face is drooping, half of your throat isn't working, you're talking, you can't really speak. Some people can't speak at all when that happens, depends on the stroke. But something about I'm telling you right now, there's the other factors I'm thinking of as well, but they explain that the fact that she had both arteries essentially were closed when the stroke made the other one closed. But since the right one was already closed and the left one, it somehow kept pressure in the brain from getting much higher, for one. Secondly, I think the fact that because she's a congestive heart failure patient, she typically runs a lower blood pressure than the average person does as well. This just works out for her better. So I'm assuming the fact that she had a lower blood pressure overall, the fact that she was laying down and sleeping, the fact that the the right carotid artery was already chronically where it was, and they don't know for how long, so they just noticed it like that for a while. All of this seemed to roll into the fact that when she had this stroke, and also where in her brain on the left side the stroke was. I think all of that together played into a part to where she didn't lose any motor control on the right-hand side. Her face didn't really droop. It's the corner of her lips. And she passed the swallow test as soon as they got her in there. The only thing that she was really battling, and I mean roughly, was aphasia. And that's another thing you can typically see with stroke, was just aphasia, not amnesia. Not that she can't recognize people she sees, or knows what she's talking about, or knows what she's hearing, or it's just really whatever she's trying to get out from her brain isn't going to her mouth correctly. A better way to explain that is imagine everything in your mind. I don't care if it's dates, names, information, words, just in bulk, or general, specific, just alone, just words or shit like that. Anything like that is all still in your head. Everything is still there. Your knowledge, everything you know is there. But imagine you had something where somebody just came along and shook every fucking thing off the shelf. So your shelves are there. Well, you may have lost a shelf or two. In other words, because when you have a stroke, there's some brain cells that can or will get damaged, and there's nothing you can do about it if it gets damaged. Luckily for her, it's very, very minimal damage. Very minimal. So there's parts where it's just they can't do anything about it. But so imagine your shelf system is now shaken. So everything you had on there neatly in order, everything is gone, and you're missing one shelf. So now you got to put everything back on the shelf, and whatever was on the shelf that's broken, you're putting on other shelves. So now your brain has to relearn different ways, pathways, if you will, for your information to connect. So wherever you had, let's say I had pizza recipes on this shelf, and also this shelf I had a couple siblings' birthday. I had my birthday on there, and I had a video game that I wanted to play, knew the name of it and shit like that. That was all just there. This shelf collapsed now. So I'm just putting everything that was on this shelf wherever the fuck else I can fit it. So now when I go through and try to think about something, now it's like, oh, I'm explaining this. It's like, okay, now my brain that used to say, okay, I can go to aisle fucking 9, section 3, that's the shelf. Now my brain has to go, I gotta figure out a different way to get to that information, because now it's on aisle 7, section 1. And the other part was on aisle 4, section 8. It's wherever you can fit it. So now your brain has to relearn, the neurons rather, has to find different pathways to the information you have stored. That's essentially what she's dealing with. Aphasia, basically. So, and the thing of it, at first it was, yeah, like, I have it all here, but I just can't put everything to get and all this stuff, you know. So that first day, it was really rough. Not rough to the point where you couldn't understand anything she was saying. Or I couldn't either, and maybe it's just stuff been around her enough to know, or just interacting with her. But no, really, I think it was really just, she was kind of loopy from the whole ordeal as well. And I will say, when it comes to aphasia, anytime a person suffering from it is exhausted, tired, or just really trying to process a whole lot of information quickly, not necessarily overwhelmed, but just process a shit ton, it can act up something fierce. So a lot of times a person with aphasia gets a chance to woosah, kind of reset and get your bearings back. You can kind of get to this point where it's like, okay, now I'm back where I need to be, kind of, and get the information out. So this was before Thanksgiving, mind you. So got her in. The first procedure where they removed all the clots was successful. Well, they did have one piece break off and go right to the part that controls all her speech, but they were already there. So, everything was at the right time. We got her in, and they took care of the clot. Got her in intensive recovery. Recovered pretty well. They went in to put an angioplasty on the right side, and the angioplasty held. And they went to go do it on the left side. They were going to put a stent in originally. They couldn't. So they put an angioplasty on the left side. The right side angioplasty's held. The left side wasn't necessarily. But I'm still getting to that. Because what this led to...
400 yards. Turn sharp left.
What this led to was really a tense moment of trying to figure out, because initially they were trying to put the stent in the same way essentially that they clean out her arteries. They just found a vein in her leg and went up that way. You know, they typically go into the groin or the wrist. They went up that way, got up in there, and got all the clots out. The first one. Second time they went to go put while they were in there, they put the angioplasty on the right side. Held perfect. So they're like, we want to go do the left side now. So they brought her in for the second procedure. They were going to put a stent in. They couldn't get the lead up the vein. So they had to abandon that and go for the angioplasty on that side. And the angioplasty held. So, oh shit. I knew it. I fucking knew it. So anyway, should have gone faster. So anyway, we get through those couple of hurdles, but then we're still in it. It's like, she's got to go in for that. We got to do something about this. So they got her out of intensive recovery, brought her into the acute stroke unit, and you know, there they were working with her, monitoring her, and mind you, this whole time, each day, with the exception of when she was under some, you know, wearing off the anesthesia and all that shit, you know people are, they come off anesthesia now. So if you have aphasia, like, and you're coming off anesthesia, and you suddenly feel like, God, I can tell I'm worse. It's not that. It's chances are it's mostly the anesthesia wearing off. So anything with that. But aside from that, each day she was getting better as far as her aphasia. With today, I would say was the only time it was acting up again. But again, you're talking about she just underwent her last procedure the day before. So today was the first 24 hours after surgery. So I'm sure that, you know, just trying to, you know, coming off of that, not being able to eat the whole day because they tried to get her in the morning. She ended up waiting until the afternoon just to get it done. And then, you know, the anesthesia kicking in, so there's just a whole bunch to it. But each day she progressed with the aphasia and doing that far better. Because before it was just you know, it was tough to talk, but not like she couldn't talk. Now she's having ease conversations. It's just every so often, you know, you got a little bit of, but you know, her aphasia comes in. She catches it. She's like, damn it, that's not what I'm trying to say. But for the most part, you already kind of know what she's going for. So, and the other thing is that was astonishing, really, can't say it anything less than that, is for the level stroke she had, which again, we're talking level, they thought initially a 7, but they were looking at her like, well, she wouldn't be talking as good, then she shouldn't be talking as good at all. So they kind of said, we're looking at a 6, but even so, this is the fact that she's still not losing motor control in the right hand, and the worst that she was she was weak in the right arm, and the left leg drifted slightly, but not enough for them. If for any nurses or doctors, anybody that knows that shit, it was the drift in the right leg wasn't enough for them to count that as a negative. So you guys will know what I'm saying when I say that. They didn't chalk that up as negative. It was the slightest of drift, and even that went away within 3 days after the second procedure. So Everything was hinging on this past Thursday, however, because that's where like we have to get in and try to do the stent. Otherwise, we gotta open up her neck and try
You
to
have arrived
get the artery
early.
out.
Horizon Arcade will begin soon.
Sorry, I gotta let her talk. Problem with that is because of what she had, you know, stroke, the battle now, she's already on blood thinners, so that put her. Well, I mean, being on blood thinners plus being a heart patient, she's at higher risk of certain things. And say you or I would have to go in if we had a stroke and had to go with that. So I mean, it was fucking nerve-wracking, but I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? No, I'm not. So we of course weren't gonna get on with all that going on. I was just at the hospital every single day, mind you, damn near. So a lot of it was really just, oh, that's you guys are in the cruiser. I'll double back over in a minute. This is important. So, cause I'm fucking around, looking like an idiot. So what ended up happening is we get her in, you know, comfortably at the stroke unit. Still working with, you know, motor testing and speech testing and just really watching her improve each day, like a lot. So even today, even with the, you know, coming off of sedatives a little bit, she's still a hard time better than she was when we first brought her in. And even then, I was told it's like she should not have been able to talk as well as she did or move as well as she did when you brought her in. Because they were telling me like the stroke that she had, she shouldn't be able to move at all. I'm like, she somehow got up, got dressed, and got out into the fucking living room when I found her. So I'm like, if I don't know what to tell you, Doc. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you either, because she shouldn't be doing this good, but she is. And we're not taking that for nothing. Like, we're gonna get her in here and since build up off of her doing way better than she should for what she's had. And that's really been the entire game, the entire 2 weeks, is just staying ahead of it while she's ahead of it. So a lot of making this video is like, because I know somebody's like knowing Sammy throughout everything we've done so far, and to everyone who's been on the channel, you know, that rolled in as a guest of mine, you know, that kind of saw us on Twitch or saw us on YouTube or reached out through Discord and jumped in on a session or two, you know, may have played with her. And I definitely wanted to make this vid, especially to everyone of the crew. That's, you know, that's Blaze, that's Scrappy, that's Dirtbag, that's you know, Papa Op Top, Beef and Broccoli, whatever handle he's working with. My bad, Dimitri, my bad. My bad. Everyone we've played with, really. At Spartan Game, big shout out to @Spartans Games. Check out his YouTube. I know he's been blowing up, and I hope he's still doing good on PC. So big shout out to Spartan Games. Lots of love, man. Love to link up again here soon. I'm just fucking around. I know people like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? So anyway, I'm just trying to tell the story. So, really wanted to make this so everybody knew, but yes, definitely to reach out to the crew, because it's just like, they all had to know why we weren't here, and what this means for how we're going to progress the channel forward. Well, I haven't gotten to that yet. Because to reiterate some of the things I said, she didn't lose her motor control. And with that being said, I've also started trying to look at advanced therapy to get her, as well as her doctors, to getting her involved in advanced therapy. Which is looking, with everything checking out here and insurance is looking alright, then by Monday she should be starting an advanced therapy program. I'm not sure how long that's going to take. I'm sure I'll get all the details then. What does that mean for her as far as being on the channel or gaming? Well, probably not what you think. And even to my surprise when I was looking at this, because I knew she's an avid gamer, of course. Like, she's the one that got most of us started, anyway. I can speak for myself and Rap Master. So, got us started. It's her fault. So, really, the advanced therapy is, I'm gonna have to get an idea of what her curriculum's gonna be, the areas it's gonna focus on, and what that. Mainly, what I'm saying this is because, in my endeavors to find her advanced therapy, I found not only extensive research, but therapy programs specifically for stroke survivors pertaining to video games. Yes, there is video game therapy for stroke survivors, and that's when I said, well, fucking A, what are we doing here? So, I reached out to a couple of institutes that had done this, as well as talked to the advanced therapy facility that she's going to be going to, which is actually close to where my home is, so that's actually perfect. To kind of figure out how they're going about their therapy, so I can kind of apply what I've researched on video game therapy for stroke survivors and incorporating that to what she already has. So once I kind of get this all ironed out here, we're really going to try to get her into therapy, well, to that therapy. I'm going to try to get her into video game therapy to kind of help get all that back as well. Because again, engaging your brain is the key to beating anything aphasia related, anything related to complicating the stroke. Because and they're talking about as far as eye-hand coordination, memory processing, and something else that I didn't consider, depending on the stroke you have, is some people get affected socially. And they even said the social aspect of the video games is another thing that kind of helped them get that going again and get them out of whatever hindrance they might have. So the more that I've dived into the research, the more promising I've seen as far as results and usage. So the plan is, while she's doing her advanced therapy, I'm going to be working with her therapy doctors and working out something where, especially once she's out of the advanced therapy facility and back home, and kind of get her slowly rolled back into her hobbies, which include video games. I know she does some arts and crafts, stuff like that. She does calligraphy. So a lot of that is just trying to get her rolled back into her routine, as well as adapting, you know, certain aspects to a new routine, because again, she's got to be on a slightly different medical regimen as far as medicines. As far as her diet goes, that hasn't changed, because being a heart patient, her diet's already very specific, and if anything, it's over-optimized for stroke. So, I mean, they look at it like you're good in that regard. So, going forward, it'll probably be a couple months. We'll see. Because I really have to find out just how long the advanced therapy is. And so, the main thing for this video is to say, yeah, poor Sammy, she did have a stroke, but she is doing 100% better. Well, damn near. Far better than anyone expected from the start. Personally, I'm just glad and grateful. So, all I can say is thank God everything went the way it did post. And it's continuing to go. So, like I said, going forward, the main focus for me and her is really just to kind of get her eased back into everything in a new routine and get everything comfortable. And get her back into her hobbies and back on PlayStation, and because I know she's aching to get back on her anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I'll make another update video for sure. But as far as content immediately, once I kind of get a gist of how everything is going to be laid out, schedules and all of that, you'll start seeing me back on here fairly soon. In fact, I already had, like I was saying earlier, because I've been doing some PC gaming as well, and I do have some edited videos I wanted to try to get out, because I have tried streamed Forza once. Not like I'm trying to stream it now necessarily, but I streamed it once. So I'm not saying I wouldn't pick up, but I'm like, I mean, I could do this. I want to stream racing games just because it's another hobby of mine as far as games go. I always like the shit. So in the interim, you're probably gonna see me do some racing games here if you guys don't mind me doing them or would like to see more. So I'm gonna start out with Grid Legends. I know it's an older game, but it's one of those EA titles where it's like, God, I hope they don't fuck it up with the sale of all this shit that's going on. Hopefully that's one they bring back and keep going, because Grid Legends is pretty sick. And the really reason why I wanted to do a stream of that, or not even a stream, it's a series. I wasn't even a live stream. I wanted to make episodic streams to have some solid edited content on the channel, you know. Again, it's been a minute since I had anything like that. I'm really doing live streams, so. And if that's something you guys pick up on or like, let me know. I'll gladly start doing a whole series, because I'll start going through really the story before diving into the campaign, you know, the career mode. Other racing titles, definitely this one, especially because it's going to be a countdown to Forza Horizon 6, so I would not be surprised if I put in a good solid sessions, you know, episodes of Forza. Although Rap Massa does have this game, if I can get him into, you know, I'll see. I'm not holding my breath. I know he probably heard it. You'll hear it too, Rap. I know. I ain't gonna hold my breath, but we'll see. I know you got it, so we'll get on there. He also picked up Sin Duality, so that was another title a buddy of mine got me into as well. Love to get into some videos with that. Still haven't made up my mind about Ark, but I still might get Ark. Hey, Tack, I was just updating everybody of why we were gone for so long. So it wasn't even really. I was trying to do this as an edited video, but fucking ran out of hard drive space. So I said, I'll just make just a mindless, quick, live video updating everybody. Which I know it sucks. You got to go. I won't make you go back and rewind, because I've been talking for fucking. Oh my God, 37 minutes. Yeah, man, I don't know. Well, since we're kind of right where I was, I'll rehash for you. That's no big. I just was really explaining why you weren't here for a while. First was, I was under the weather. The first month we were kind of off. Then we had one video we put up Borderlands, I think it was. I think I only got one video up after that. Might have been two, but I think it was just shit. There we go. One. So, why we disappeared the second time after was poor Sammy had a stroke. And I happened to catch her that day. Up and about. Like, I came in, walked in, said, you know, how you doing? Saw her sitting by her desk, and it's like, okay, what's going on? It sounded kind of loopy. I'm like, maybe it's blood sugar, because I know she's been up, you know, some people have blood sugar issues. I didn't know if she ate much that day before, so I'm like, is everything alright? She's like, I woke up like this. I said, how do you feel? Kind of loopy. I'm like, okay, in case your blood sugars, get you something to eat, some potassium, whatever, pick you up. Fed her, that didn't seem to change anything after an hour. It's like, okay, I checked her oxygen intake, checked her blood pressure, and that's when I said, okay, we gotta get you when something happened. Brought her in. And that's when they were like, yeah, she had probably a level 6 stroke. They thought 7 at first. But it was definitely a 6. But she was on the left side of her brain, so which does control motor functions. But somehow, and I think it's a combination of the fact that her right carotid artery was chronically blocked, and it's not from plaque or anything. The right artery was, they said, some sort of tissue disorder that she had, was similar to what her mother had. Well, her mother had some sort of degenerative, it's not degenerative, it's some sort of tissue disorder where your arteries and veins are typically smaller than what normally would be. Now with Sammy, not so much, just some of her arteries, some of her veins. So they think that's what happened with her right carotid artery, is just tissue just shrank, more or less. But the combination of that being closed when her blockage happened on the left side, the fact that her being a heart patient, she runs in lower blood pressure than most of people run. It's just like she runs, like we were like what, 120 something or whatever. She runs like the high 90s usually. So something similar. They didn't name that one though, but that wasn't even the main. Well, I don't know if that was the main culprit or not. That was just what caused her right to be closed. But the left is where she had the stroke. And they were saying the right could have been closed for years. They don't know. So they're saying all this time, for who knows how long, her left artery has been supplying both sides of her brain. For years it could have been like that, they say. So I'm like, oh, fucking, we would have never, nobody would have known really. The fact, I never showed up before, which is insane. But that's most likely what, but at the same time, that is most likely what made her symptoms mild. She didn't lose any motor control on the right hand side at all. No, hardly any face droop. She's passed the swallow test. Still had her strength. At the time, she had a slightly weak in the right, and I think her right leg had a slight drift. Very slight. But the thing is, it's like, dude, she had a level 6 stroke. She shouldn't be doing any of this, let alone talking like she is. So, the main thing she dealt with really was aphasia. And that, I can't even say, well, yeah, really, astonishingly, from the day I brought her in, each day had gotten better. And this was before she even had procedures. So then she had the first where they got the clot out successfully and managed to catch anything from going in deeper. And very, very little damage to her brain. So that was the main thing. So we pretty much caught that pretty good. Where the fuck am I going? It's not where I'm trying to go. So they do an angioplasty on the right carotid artery. That held. Perfect. So they went to go in to do a stent on the left to open that up. So originally they couldn't with the method they were trying to do because they were going to go in through the groin and snake up the vein. And that's when they're like, well, her vein's a little too small, can't get in that way. And I didn't want to use the same line we went in to grab the clots because that's inflamed. We don't want to make that any worse than it needs to be. So they did an angioplasty on the right, that held. They just took her out of intensive recovery, brought her to the stroke unit, and just focused on the aphasia and, if any, muscle loss, or muscle control loss, which astonishingly she had none. Which is still baffling. They still don't know because they're pretty sure it was a level 6 stroke at the least. And when I saw on the CT scan, and I saw it all, like I'm looking at it, and they're showing me where this stroke was, and it was the size of your thumb, shit. But it's kind of where it was in her brain, that it less affected her muscle control and more so went for speech. Well, in her case, aphasia. But again, that's been, every single day's been better, and it's not like she forgot anything. It's not like nothing's there. Like I explained it before. I can quickly explain it again. It's like you got everything in your brain. Just think of everything that you can think of, you possibly know offhand, and everything in your brain's on the shelf. And every shelf is on a section of shelving, it's down aisles, whatever. All of a sudden, your shit gets shaken up. So now everything's on the floor in front of the aisles that they were in, except you literally physically have one or two shelves that collapse and you can't do anything to get them back together. So now you picked up all the pieces. For the most part, everything's going back where it was, right? But where the shelves collapse, you got to find a new place to put that information. So now that you have to find new places for that information, a new shelf basically, now your brain has to find different ways to get to that information. So whatever you had on aisle 4, section 5, everything on that section is split. So you put some on aisle 2, section 7, you got some on aisle 6, section 1, you got wherever you could get them. So now when you try to just rapidly, so like for example, so now you had to do all that. So if you're just casually in conversation, you know how little effort you do to run, to recall something. Be like, oh yeah, it's blah 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 blah. Well, when you go, oh yeah, it's blah 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 blah, your brain's going to that part where it was before, and that information's not there. It's whatever. You might be trying to say, oh yeah, I had to go there at 8 o'clock. You might be saying, oh, I left a spoon in the fridge. Makes no fucking sense, but that's where that is now, that where it used to be. So now her brain's just got to find a different pathway to the information that's already stored. All the information's there. So that's kind of the best way I can describe aphasia, really, for her, at least in that regard. But again, you're talking every day since the first day I brought her up there. It might have just been 2 weeks now. Has improved. The last procedure she went in for, the 4th, was they finally went in under the collarbone to put a stent in the left artery. And as tight as it was, they got the stent in, and it's perfect. So now with the stent in and working, she's got the increased blood flow, everything's not restricted, her left side is doing what it's got to do, and the angioplasty on the right held, so they're just going to keep an eye on the left artery, because it's like, well, if the right shuts, her body's used to the left artery doing both sides of the brain, and with that stent in there, she should have even better blood flow than she had previously. So where we are now is getting her enrolled in her advanced therapy, probably by Monday. The main thing is, really trying to figure out the schedule. Well, the sad thing is I don't even think 64 or anything had seatbelts, but I'm pretty sure I put a harness in this bitch. But the main thing right now is they're gonna try to get, well, they got everything lined up. She's going to go into advanced therapy as far as just really to work with the aphasia, just check everything out, make sure the motor function is still good. Her eye-hand coordination is top-notch, which they liken that to her craft and video game hobby. She does calligraphy as well as playing video games, so. Which also brings me to my other point, is probably see her back on here sooner than most people think, I'm telling you right now. A lot of it has to do with because I was doing some research also trying to find advanced therapy for her, and I found a ton of video game therapy specifically for stroke survivors. So I've reached out to a couple of those institutes to get information on how they go about it, and I'm working with her therapist in her advanced therapy section before she even goes there to kind of work out a game plan. So they're going to take her for, I'm not even sure how long yet. I gotta find out about that. But then once she's through that stage of her advanced therapy, I can start the video game therapy with her to get her back into the pace of things. And they said mainly because like it's they found video games extremely beneficial for stroke patients. And of course you figure, yeah, eye-hand coordination, memory function, quick response, shit like that, sure. One aspect I didn't see coming was for those stroke survivors that have more of these social parts of their brain affected. Not so much speech, but mood, other things. Interactions, because some people become antisociable. They're saying it works great with them, so. Not that she's having any of those issues. She's not. Like, her thing is just aphasia. It's astonishing. That's all she's dealing with. And mildly so by each day. So the only time it really flares up is if she's really tired, sleepy, exhausted, or really overwhelmed. Like, I appreciate the luck, man. But, I mean, it's the entire thing is scary as it was, started looking right off of, straight up, promising as far as the recovery. Why did I drive here again? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna see if my picture's up here. Oh yeah, it is my picture. So anyway, but that's kind of where we are, right? And of course my face ain't up here. They only put me up here when nobody's on. So, where we are as far as the channel proceeding from this day forth on. Well, like I was saying earlier, I've got some PC shit I want to get on the channel because I'm trying to do... I want to do more racing games because I haven't done jack shit. Really. And especially if everybody's like, yeah, I want to check it out, whatever. So, I mean, nothing too crazy.
Horizon Arcade will begin soon.
No, I don't want to play the fucking arcade. Figured this game would be fun to do because, again, even though they just put it on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a fucking countdown to Forza Horizon 6 real soon. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. As far as, oh, I know what you mean, man. I know. Well, that's the other thing is, like, I mean, as far as the video game therapy going, like, I'm trying to set up with a therapist, like, I mean, that's gonna be on here at some point quite soon, so I don't have a window for sure, but everything really depends on, right? Oh, I forgot this fucking thing was that fast. Everything is kind of hinged on timetables really right now, so, and I'm not gonna do anything until Monday as far as, okay, how long she's gonna be at this advanced. Because the advanced therapy centers, like, she's going to stay in there. So she's transferred and she gets to stay there, so. Which is no big problem. It's better than, like, you know, like some people just end up going to a home. It's like, well, she's too young to go to a home. Shit, she'll be 20 years younger than everybody there. So, like, well, just get her advanced therapy, keep her here, work with her there, and then I just talk to her, the neurologist at the hospital she's at now is kind of getting enrolled in a therapist there about the video game therapy. Like, yeah, definitely. And he gave me a link with the therapist there, so I've been working with them the last 3 days to kind of at least get a plan as to where I have a handoff with her therapy with them, and then the therapy I'm going to bring her through with video games. So, which is, again, they've had extensive therapies. So I've reached out to 2 facilities, and one of them's in St. Louis, I forget where the other one is. Nowhere near us, but they were gracious enough to send me a bunch of information so I can run with it. So grateful. So, I mean, yeah, I'll have another update video as far as Sammy's recovery, because, I mean, everybody watched her on here, and so many of the crew played with us. It's like, that's the least I can do is keep everybody posted. It's just, I couldn't at the time, because like I said, I was up there every single day in that hospital. Oh, I appreciate it, man. I think overall, though, she's... The only thing we got to keep really an eye on her is her heart strength after all this, which... but, I mean... As far as her heart goes, that's something she's been managing for a while, so it's not like we're unused to it. It's just we just got to keep an eye on it. And she's got to stay on a regimen, really. Like, her medication regimen. Her diet's solid. It's just she's got to stay on her regimen. So it's a lot of... Well, what they explained is the therapist is getting used to that routine as well. So, but as far as me getting back on here, you'll probably see me soon, really soon. Because like I said, I got edited content I wanted to put up. wanted to dive into Grid Legends and play the story mode because that was a pretty fun story and thought it was pretty neat to make something episodic with. My brother, Rat, did get this game, but we also did pick up Synduality, so I might start doing some Synduality streams. It'd be nice to do something, shake it up. But once I got a better picture of schedules and everything like that, I can get a better timetable and everything will kind of return normal-ish. Because again, with this, my schedule is now going to have to change.
You have arrived at your destination.
But I think it's going to change for the better, not so much make it harder. So that's the main thing. And again, that's not my fastest car, is it? So my main thing was I'm just glad that, I mean, I don't get me wrong, the stroke was fucking terrible, but I mean, I'm just glad everything that kind of just fell into place as to why she wasn't anywhere near as bad as again, I was told she shouldn't have been moving as well as she should have been. She shouldn't have been talking as well as she was. I'm talking about the day I brought her in. She should have had no control over her right side of her body. She had face droop, the whole thing. The right side of her throat should have not been working. She shouldn't be able to talk. And she was doing all that. So it's like a fucking miracle. Look, I don't look gift horses in the mouth. So I'm taking it. So the only thing moving forward now is just really trying to give her the best of whatever I can get her, and well, everybody really, but mainly get her back into her crafts, because between the video games and the calligraphy, I'm telling you, that's really going to help her get back into routine and normalcy faster, in any case. And like I said, everybody in neurology at the hospital is very optimistic, and even the cardiologist is optimistic too. Like, I'm pretty sure she's going to be just fine. We'll just watch her heart and see how everything goes. And as far as sorry about that, that's my fucking hockey updates. Yes, I'm a diehard hockey watcher. I used to play anyway. Roller hockey, I wasn't too crazy. Inline skate, goalie, because no one ever fucking wants to be the goalie. Although I was kind of glad. I got tired of getting punched in the face. Although there was one time in beer league, fucking, yeah, as a goalie, I said, you know what, fuck this. I went right up there and fuck him. Oh, we don't see too many goalie fights. Yeah, that happened in the NHL though. Fucking, I remember Fleury a few times. But anyway, that being said, really just gonna get her situated, and once I got a good idea of a timetable, we'll have the timetable. In the meantime, I'm gonna at least try. If everybody's open, me just doing my again, because a lot of my gaming hobbies revolved racing sims, but I don't want to make anything boring. Oh, I forgot I had Kit. How fucking fast are you? So moving forward, yeah, I'm mainly just gonna try to get some edited content. I really want to get some edited content out, so there we go. So you're probably gonna see Grid, for sure, Grid Legends, because the story mode's pretty sick, why not? I was gonna try to get fucking to see what racing sims I could probably put up there. I've got a few up my sleeve that I've been playing anyway. It's like I could probably make some good content with some of them. So I'll probably have another update video with that as far as that goes. But I'll keep making updates on Sammy's health there, post those up. But at least I know it was a mouthful tonight with everything going on, but the overall is she's doing terrific, and had the biggest hurdle was Thursday, was that last procedure, because that was kind of risky. Well, it would have been far more risky if they had to go in and open her neck and clean the artery. And luckily, they got the stent in, so we're good to go. So now it's just recovery therapy and then advanced therapy and then further advanced therapy on my half. So again, I'll have everything laid out. But as far as me getting back on here, yeah, it probably won't be too long. And we'll definitely see content again. I'm probably sitting on some shit I probably could just release anyway, it'd be unedited, but fuck it. Yeah, it's pretty funny and worth it. Why not? I'll put it out. Oh fuck, I forgot Kit was this fast. So, moving forward, yeah, I knew it was on a hiatus, but I definitely want to at least put something out to A, know what happened, you know, and B, just to kind of just let everyone know so you didn't go off the wall or didn't just suddenly disappear. It's just you had a lot of shit, and then man, I do apologize. It was just a lot to. There was no way I was gonna type all this shit for one, but I had been mulling over this. Oh, my bad, I hit the wrong fucking button. I've been running this over my head for the last 4 or 5 days as to how I was gonna approach this and, you know, speak about it. But at the same time, I was also like, I want to make sure everything is right. So that's why it's suddenly so late, because again, this all happened before Thanksgiving. So we spent Thanksgiving in the hospital. We spent the last, 14 days maybe. I want to say she went in the 19th. I want to say. I could be off, but I want to say it was like the 19th. So I've been up there every day. Just about since. Spending the night most of the time, just because, well, especially when the aphasia was heavy, I was translating, because I kind of understood what she was saying. But, thank God, yeah, it could have been a lot worse, as far as her symptoms goes, and the stroke could have been worse, too, because, again, they thought it was a 7, but turns out it was a 6 on the left side, and I still say it was just, personally, I think it was partially, like I said, she already had one side blocked, so when the other side went, the pressure was just, and her blood pressure overall is lower, and she was laying down, don't know what side, and she was sleeping, and what was the last part of it? I think may have affected that. Just, I mean, I don't know. It's just so awful, the fact that she had lower blood pressure overall, right? So much went into her not having anywhere near the symptoms she should have had. So, like, every day, I mean, especially for anybody who's been around anybody that's had a stroke and knows someone that's had a stroke, depending on how bad the stroke was. Because, I mean, I knew a guy that had a stroke who literally, he couldn't talk, couldn't walk, nothing. He felt paralyzed. Excuse me. I knew somebody else who, 20 years later, still had no control of the right side of their body. Excuse me, which also meant they had to learn how to eat differently because the whole right side of your throat doesn't work. I knew guys that were, out of work for years, came back and, you know, at least they didn't have it as bad as they couldn't use the right side of their body or left side, depending on where the stroke is. Because if it's on the right side, it affects your left, and vice versa. So I knew a guy at least was able to come back to work to operate, you know, because he was a groundskeeper, so he could at least do that. But he had some hang-ups here and there. And there's some rough days, but others, you just never know with a stroke as far as their symptoms go. Because even they were baffled with her, because it's like she should not be able to talk as clear as she is and use SI to the degree she's been. And that was the first day. So I can tell you, especially because I was just up there with her, like her eye-hand coordination is perfect still. So the drift in her right leg's gone. As far as muscle control and that, it's almost like she never had an issue. And so even though I'm gonna overly cautious with her, she's gonna just like use a rollator anyway, just to kind of make sure everything is. But I'm like, I mean, you stood up on your own. I mean, shit, Sammy. So I don't blame her for wanting to be a little extra cautious, and I'm playing along with it too, because why not? But she doesn't really need it. But it's there if she does. But I don't think she will. Like I said, her recovery already. Mind you, this is no advanced therapy. She's been recovering this much. Like, we haven't started any therapy. We've just been monitoring, assessing, and grading, and treating. And she's already recovered this much. So that's why they're really like, well, let's just get her in advanced therapy right now. Fuck it. That's really the doctor's attitude. He's like, we get her in now, we get her home sooner. So I'm cool with that. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, she responded to everything else pretty quickly. I mean, flashcards, image recognition, like I said, everything's there. Their main thing was they wanted to see if, well, okay, because as with any stroke, there's some damage to the brain. So if there is any, let's find it. And if there is, I think the worst of it is, she'll say it's 1925 instead of 2025. Not thinking it's 1990 or 25 or whatever. She doesn't think that. It's just coming out that way. She knows it's 2025. It's just, she'll hear stuff like, nope, that's not what the fuck I meant. And it's just trying to get the brain to connect the dot differently, because now it's not in the same spot anymore in the brain. It's just got to go a different way. So it's got to go around the corner through something else to get back over to get to the info. That's mainly what she's fighting and dealing with. But again, that's been better every day. So hence why they say, and the more I've researched, the more I keep seeing it. This is why all of them have been saying, yes, video game therapy works. There is video game therapy for stroke survivors, and if you happen to be near one of these facilities, definitely, if you got a loved one that's dealing with it, get them involved. Now, Oh, did this piece of shit go out? Yes, it did. I'm sorry. No idea how long it was out. Fuck me. That was great. That was smart. Yeah. So, no clue what you didn't hear. Then again, I was repeating half the shit I already said. So, really, it's just... I'm thinking... Once I kind of have a good timetable of what we got on our plate, but I still say she's gonna try to be back on here by March, maybe sooner. So, and again, I'm throwing that way, I'm throwing that kind of far. I don't know. You never know with strokes, but at the same time, how much she's progressed already, and like I said, she's progressed so much before therapy. That's the thing I'm getting at. Like all of this progression since we brought her in, got the clots out, to the last procedure. I just each day from the first day I brought her in, she's progressed. And again, this is before any type of intensive therapy or any degree. So, like all they've been doing is just checks. So they're checking, okay, she's leg drifting, or you got the strength, can you push, can you pull, can you tell me your birthday, can you tell me what the day is, or so forth, so on, but they're just doing that. That's all they've been doing. Monitoring and assessing and testing. Not necessarily the therapy. And she's progressed. So, and I can't blame them because again, when they're telling me, okay, she shouldn't be doing this good, and she is. Okay, all right. So let's see what's going on for real here. Okay, as long as she's up for it, she has been every day. So, but yeah, miracle luck out. So, so hopefully we'll get her back here pretty soon. Since I just wanted to make sure I put something out for anybody who's watched us in passing, at least seen, anybody who's viewed us at some point, or anybody who's watched us on Twitter, YouTube, here, or through the Discord, ever jumped in a session or two and she was on with us, or just anybody, any of the crew. Just wanted everybody to have something just so you guys know what happened, where we are at this point, and everything's okay. A little different maybe, we'll see, but for the most part, she'll be back and she'll be A-okay. I mean, she's A-okay today, thank God, so... Yeah, I just didn't want anybody to be in it. Plus, I mean, like I said, we were gone for a month before we put that one video out. That's because I was fucking under the weather. And then... Well, how many days was it after that episode? Not even a week, maybe. It was like 4 days. And then this happened, so... Said we've been up there since... God, I'm thinking it's the 19th. I want to say it's the 19th. We took her up there. So yeah, we spent Thanksgiving and right up to now. Hold on, I can look. When did I bring her in there? I want to say that was about... Oh no, hold up. That's way... I gotta scroll back. We took her up to... I am sorry about this. I had to go look. Okay, yeah, that was the 20 what? Oh my God, no, this might be 23rd? No, 24th. Yeah, damn, okay, so we were up there 24th to, yeah, shit. Well, damn. Did not realize that, but I swear the fucking first 3 days were one for me. I was up there, so. I mean, hey, it's just. Sammy's the OG. For real. I mean, she kind of got us playing video games, but shit, Sammy's about to turn 65 in January, so. So, I'm just glad everything is well, and who knows, maybe you guys can help me. We can make sure she sees 85 and some. I'd appreciate it. Oh, I'm just glad. But shit. I mean, excuse me. Not that there's a history of stroke in my family. Not really, there isn't. But I've just coworkers, classmates, well, like college classmates and so forth. Like I've not new to, or I've been around people that have had strokes or survived strokes. I mean, even on the job, there was two. There's a guy who worked while I was in security, and he was one of the heads of maintenance or higher up, and he had a stroke, and I don't know when, years back, probably before I got there, I think, pretty sure, but then this guy, you couldn't tell me he had a stroke. But that was exactly my reaction when they told me he had a stroke. Like, there's no fucking way. It's like, yeah, he had a stroke years ago. It's just so many varying degrees of how much and how far you can recover, or how bad your symptoms are at the time, even. You just never know. To some degree, sure, how bad the stroke is, maybe where it is in the brain, what side of the brain, there's a whole bunch of shit. But you just never know. And I've seen people post-stroke to so many different degrees, it's like, okay, shit, you just never know. But as far as me being, like, have seen that or accustomed to it, no, I'm not new to it, but my God, if any of you know that, definitely sit down and talk to me, like, yo, what was it like for you? Seriously. If it's something they don't mind talking about, because, man, as someone who, like I said, I've dealt with people, I had, like, my great-grandmother for example, wasn't there for the stroke or any of that, but post-stroke, like, a year or two down the road, and some 10, 20, 30 years, just, she couldn't use the right side of her body much, if at all. Like, she had to pick up her right hand with her left hand, like, her whole arm wouldn't move, same thing with her leg. But that didn't mean she couldn't walk. Like, she couldn't move the limb, but she could stand on it with a cane. Which is, again, doesn't seem like it makes much sense, because it's like, how are you going to put weight on it? But she can kind of put weight on it. So it's not like it's paralysis entirely. It's just, you kind of got to get something over there and to get it to function sometimes. At least for her it was. You just never know. Typically, that's what they were expecting with Sammy when I brought her in, and they found out how the level of stroke she had. They were expecting something like that. That's not it. Thank God. So, like I said, I mean, she'll be on here soon, I'm sure. But I even told her, we're not getting you on too soon. We're just getting you in once you got to get used to a routine. You got to get comfortable. You can't stress about shit. So get used to everything, get acclimated, and we'll get you back on here. Because even I swear, she's been dying to get back on here. No, it's like, I've got to get back on this game. It's like, I'm sick and tired of sitting here. I can only watch TV so much. I'm like, I know. But I'm just glad. I forgot about that one. Holy shit. How many I got? That's the oldie. Let me see this thing real quick. Let me see this one. So, I know I'm rambling, but it was just a lot. God, it was a lot for me to get off my partially get out of this. Like, my God, this whole couple of weeks, really, it's been the craziest for me. But mainly because, like, I'm just trying to get her situated and make sure everything is being attended to that she needs attended to. Because, like, I've got no problem doing that, but man, it's been all over the place. So with that being said, I just wanted to make, like I said, I was trying to make this like a uploaded video, but fucking ran out of hard drive space. Thanks, in duality. I'm not kidding. But really, I did download that. 'Cause like I said, by the way, Dimitri, thank you. I hope you still play this shit, because if I'm late to the party, I'm gonna be pissed. I know everybody's like, why'd you get Ark? I'm like, it's the same thing, isn't it? I mean, probably different, better, of course. It looks fucking insane, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not shitting on Ark at all, but I don't know, man. I still might get it, though. We'll see. We're gonna see how the budget goes here, because may have to help Sammy out here, but we'll see. Not that that's a problem at all, but that being said, really, like I said, just really want to put something out so that the crew, everybody else, just instead of me trying to hunt down emails and type out paragraphs and fucking, that's just annoying. But I just want to put something else. Just, again, that's sad. You really only had to listen to like 30 minutes of. No, honestly, you only had to listen to about like 20 minutes of this shit. I'd be like, okay, that's what happened. All right, peace out, bro. Thanks. So I've already spoke long enough. I'm not even gonna keep going with this shit. So really, that's all I was trying to get out here to do. I apologize for being long-winded, but like I said, it was just a lot. In any case, thanks for watching all this time. Believe me, I appreciate it. And part of it was knowing, like, even the few people that, I can't say few people. I mean, there's a good chunk of you. I can't thank all of you individually, but if I could by name or handle, I would. Thank you. Seriously. But part of what kept her, I'm not because kept her going. I mean, she was fucking iron-hearted all day. That woman, you can't stop her doing nothing. But when I first put that little, excuse me, blurb about okay, I had some things going on. I'll keep everybody updated. Just had some shit going on. Just the amount of people reaching out, say, hey, keep us posted, let us know, blah, blah. I mean, through the Discord and the Facebook page, which I've got to get those two linked together. So you guys like, the fuck you keep saying, I don't see it. That's only because it's like the Facebook fucking disappointed me, the Facebook page. Because it doesn't do what I want it to do. Now, if I converted my personal page to that, yeah, but then the problem is I don't want to convert my personal page to that. Of course, they kind of fucking force it on everybody, but whatever. Still, anyway. Fuck, I've gone on. Look, I was just a lot for me to go through, but because you gotta understand, the whole time I'm not caring about myself at all. It's just like I'm focusing on one person, and that's that. So, thank goodness you got through the last major hurdle, and now it's just the steps getting back to. Well, it's just like a car race, man. You're in the pits, okay. Got your new tires, put just the right amount of gas in it. Had plenty to drink, right? All you gotta do is make sure you don't piss yourself. We'll get you back out in the race. Just go win it. So that's where we're at. Thank goodness, because like I said, if you've ever seen anybody with a stroke, it could have been to any degree. It could be. You just do not know. And the thing about it is, even if somebody is really bad off, you still don't know how far they're going to recover, right? Within a year or two, you still don't know. What was it? Ric Flair just posted about a buddy of his that had a stroke. When he caught up with him, he couldn't even move. And he shared a picture of him today. I'm not sure how long it was after the stroke. The guy's walking around already and talking. So, like, you just don't know. The brain is such a mystery. Neurology is fascinating, I will say that. But, man, like, you just never know. If anybody that happens to be passing by and watch, tell you what, I've never done this in any of my videos, but use my comment section. Anybody reach out if you've dealt with anybody or personally dealt with stroke or dealing with someone that's, currently going through it. It's just definitely reach out. Not necessarily just to me, but I'm like, link up with other people and just network in the comment section, if you know what I mean. Because if you're someone who's never dealt with that and you suddenly find yourself either dealing with it directly, whether it's yourself or it's a relative, a loved one, or friend or coworker, just reach out. I mean, because I looked at it with my experience. Now I'm dealing with it directly, this close, but previously I've dealt with it in the past. Interacted with people, dealt with people, worked with people, because I've been around it, I'm accustomed to it. So, like, when this happened, I kind of already knew, okay, I already know what this takes. I know what this person had to go through. We've talked about it. I already kind of saw what these grandparents had to do when it was my great-grandparents. So it's like, I've been around certain aspects. So it's like, for me, I didn't have that mystery, but there's plenty of people out there just don't know what the fuck to even do, think, or react to. And that's what I'm saying. Use the comment section, please, because if you never know, even though I'm a no-name right now, the video itself could be something different. And you never know. Like I said, I don't know. That's why I'm seriously, get in there, talk to each other, talk to somebody. If you're someone who's new to dealing with this, something like that, and just don't even know what to think or feel, like, yeah, or if you're someone who's been through it personally, or someone who's going through it personally, or recovered 2, 4, 6, 8, however many years out, reach out. Because with strokes, you just do not know at all. And I feel like there's a lot of people that, could know someone that's going through it real bad, and it looks horrible. And you kind of want to tell that person, I know it looks horrible, but you just don't know how it's going to be. Because it could be it is probably horrible now, and it might be horrible, but it also might be the total opposite in the same time span. You just don't know. But who knows? Maybe we did a thing here today. Just a platform or something. It's minute, just a small network of people to reach out. It doesn't matter. You never know. Somebody's information could be the right thing they need to hear at any moment. So, I appreciate you guys. Every single one of you guys that subscribed, I appreciate you all, especially the ones that stayed through me not putting shit out at all. Thank you. And like I said, we'll try to have everybody back here full swing in no time, but definitely send Sam your best if you feel up to it. I mean, hey, just the fact that the fact that I explained to her, it's like, I'm sure people, especially when she got pissed at Helldivers at one time in that epic rave. That rant was epic. My God, she torched that game so bad. And I couldn't say shit. I'm just laughing. But, yeah, I know everybody loved that shit. It was funny as fuck, though. So I told him, I'm sure a lot of people love that one. So, yeah. Everybody who's at least seen the channel at least saw that. Oh my god, I know we're thinking about it, so. But I didn't want you guys to wonder or worry. But mainly just, that's what happened. But, we'll be back in no time. Pretty sure. And they're looking to roll her into her advanced therapy very quick. So, alright. I've rambled for fucking long enough. This will be like a 15-minute shit. I'm out here an hour 30 blowing my ass out, so